Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Wednesday, September 2nd, and this morning I am joined by Matt Schoolfield at schools_01. I am Zach Lilia at ZLilia. TCF on Twitter. Main page at typical_Chicago. Instagram and Facebook. Type in Typical Chicago Fans. Like us, give us a follow on Instagram and give us a like on Facebook. We put all of our podcasts and stuff out on there so you can find all of our shows and when we put them out, and kind of a summary of what's going on there. So make sure you follow us on all social medias. Or go over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and subscribe to the YouTube page. We have been thinking of some crazy ideas if we get like 100 subscribers and maybe a certain amount on. I'm thinking like maybe 1,000 on Twitter, 100 on YouTube, and like something like 200, 300, 400, maybe 500 on Instagram, and my mother gave me a call today about the tattoo, so we maybe had to think about that, and then also wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, subscribe, rate, and review. Spotify, give us a follow. Shout out to Boomy's uncles, 2 uncles that follow us on Spreaker, and wherever else you get if you have your podcast anywhere else. Google Podcasts, anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans and you'll find us on there. Shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. Go over to 26shirts.com, buy some shirts, beautiful shirts, or a flag or a hat, and then at checkout type in Typical Chicago Fans in the promo code area and you will get 15% off of your purchase. That is at checkout. Type in Typical Chicago Fans and you will get 15% off of your purchase. Shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. Follow them on all social medias. We love them. Again, that's Typical Chicago Fans in all caps, and you will get 15% off of your purchase there. Matt, how we doing?
Excellent, man. Excellent. What are we halfway through the week now? Almost halfway through the week, I guess. Got a holiday weekend coming up.
Yes, we are.
It's light at the end of the tunnel this week. Get the extra day of the weekend.
Maddie's going to be going on a little bit of a vacation.
Possibly. We'll see. It's still up in the air. We haven't decided for sure yet.
Either way, though, we got the long weekend coming up here. At least a 3-day weekend for us. So it will be supposed to be hopefully a nice little weekend here. Said Labor Day weekend. It's usually for me. That's kind of where my hometown. Actually, that's the only time they actually really do like a festival. It's not like a festival, but they do like tractor pulls and stuff like that. Not happening this year, so that's kind of a little bit different. But I'm hoping to have at least a good time this weekend. Let's get into the subjects. White Sox lose 3-2 in Minnesota against the Twins. I still think that the White Sox are, like I said, the better team, but we were hoping for a little bit of I thought this offense was going to come out in that top of the 9th inning and do something crazy. Didn't. They actually stayed a little cool in this game, but they're still a hot team. Probably the hottest offense in baseball right now. I think I saw they're like ranked 4th or 5th in like MLB rankings and stuff like that in a lot of different areas. The White Sox.
I think run differential, though, they're first in the American League. That's always a key one to look at, in my opinion.
Always a key one to look at. I would say because
they're just mashing the ball. So they kind of.
Robera got one.
Didn't do it tonight. He did,
so
and Twins. The Twins are a really good team.
2 good teams.
And Michael Pineda. He's been a good pitcher in the past. I guess I wouldn't have expected him to, look like he did tonight, I guess. But, it's a big win for the Twins, kind of keeping their foot in that AL Central race, not letting the White Sox run away with it quite yet.
I think that is going to be an exciting race there in the AL Central.
It's 2 damn good teams, man. It really is. The Twins can match, too. So it's they're gonna go as their pitching takes them as well. So I don't.
Fortunately, and
they don't have a Giolito at the front of their rotation.
Kind of not that good this year.
Correct. We'll take
We'll
it.
take it. But like you said, this is gonna be an exciting division race here, and the Cubs will be. The White Sox will be in it. Are in first place. I think they're still in first place for now. I don't know how the Indians ended up doing, but the White Sox and Cubs in first place.
And Indians won 10-1.
I saw a bunch of pictures,
way.
and they wanted to show like the Cubs and the Sox both in first place or whatever. And the bad part is they had the Cubs' last 10 record on there, and it was like 4-6, and I didn't really want to see that. But you just because that kept showing up on all like Chicago sports Twitter, probably our Twitter and stuff, and I'm like, damn, that last 10 kind of sucks to see.
Getting off to the start they did help, so got off to a hot start, obviously, to start the season. So kind of get a little wiggle room that way.
Let's get into the Cubs. They are actually playing, like I said, we'll peek behind the curtain here. We are recording late night. It's 11. It's like 11:30, and the Cubs game is still going on.
It's almost morning.
Yeah,
it's almost morning.
So they are in the bottom of the 11th right now, up 8-7. They had a lead in the bottom of the 11th, bottom of the 10th also, but then they gave up a run. Same thing again. John Lester has 5 earned runs. In this bullpen, you just can't. Who do you trust?
No one. I mean Jeffress, I guess, is probably
Why did we send Dan Winkler out there right after the rain delay? What was the point of that one, actually?
I didn't really get that. You texted that to me, and I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right there.
I hate to be that way. Like you said, they did it so much with Joe Madden, but, come on, what was that? Just made no sense. Of all the guys you got in there, the new guys you got, I mean, we're going to throw Dan Winkler out there, and he gets a home run right away.
No, I agree with you there. Jeffress is it's looking good so far tonight. He's only, he's definitely their best pitcher. There's no question in my mind. Out of the pen anyway. It's the only guy that you really can remotely feel good.
And Quintana, but Quintana will end up being in that starting rotation.
Quintana better be back in the rotation soon, especially with, we really don't know what's up with Chatwood yet.
They say good.
Totally.
At least a little bit of good news, maybe. But who knows with that?
Yeah, but I mean, is he good enough to really?
In the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he also hasn't been that great either since his got off to that good start of the season when we kicked off in July. But in early August, I guess. But I still don't feel great about Tyler Chatwood in a pennant race and into the playoffs.
Oh, no, we need Quintana back in this rotation for it to be a playoff contending team. And I could still have Chatwood in the rotation. I'm not saying that, but you need to have Darvish, Hendricks.
Hopefully the good John Lester,
Quintana.
not the Lester that's been there lately. That's a big pitch too from Jeffress getting that ground ball there. God,
I think Bell is getting a little annoyed. I think this is his second straight intentional walk here.
Huh?
Because I think he's kind of came up in the spot where it exactly happened last time, where they had a guy on second base and first base was open, so they just intentionally walked him to get the force.
It's a damn shame.
But you know what? Yeah,
damn shame.
And also because he can hit a home run very easily.
Well, the guy, he can hit the ball into the river pretty easily. That guy's a masher, dude. He's a stud.
I'm kind of trying to.
we could circle back to the Cubs here later on when they hopefully have this thing wrapped up.
We'll let you know throughout the show what happened here. Let's get into Big Ten might be back, maybe not. Sir Yacht,
maybe
playing with our heartstrings again. But they said that there was talks with the president about what they should do with football, and kind of maybe saying that they should do it. And then there were news reports on Tuesday morning saying that they were going to be back and whatever. I still think it's going to be tough for them to play football at least this fall, but they're trying to say that they're going to be starting up sometime in October. Matt, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm not going to get my hopes
Me
up
either. I'm just gonna
because
try and not get my hopes up because last time I got my hopes
I
up and I thought maybe even that petition could work or whatever. I don't know what I actually thought that was gonna do,
it
but you just can't.
was fun.
You just can't get your hopes up.
I no, I mean like
There'll be college football.
I'm confident. I'm confident that there's definitely going to be the NFL, and I'm confident that there's going to be,
Hmm.
in some capacity,
Next
some college
Thursday, the
football.
NFL will be.
I would really, really, yeah, from your lips to God's ears, man.
It's beautiful.
I really want to get, a good season of college football though too, because there's nothing better on
Well,
Saturdays,
a
man,
big thing
than
is
get.
they want. I mean, there's some Big Ten teams that could maybe be playing in that playoff, and that's why they
Well,
want
yeah,
to start when they do in October, so then they could be playoff. They could be
eligible.
playoff
Well,
eligible, and it's just
frankly, there's no. It's not going to be any better in January or February when they want to start a spring season than it is going to be right
mhm.
now. So if you're going to do it then, if you're going to commit to doing it then, it's not going to be any different then than it is right now. It's going to be here. The virus is going to be here. It's going to be a problem still then too.
Well,
So,
like you
it,
said,
it, it, it,
it's just one of those things. It's going to be so hard for them to go back on what they said, and but the weird part is what I found so confusing is these teams are still practicing.
yeah, some of them
Like
are.
certain time, it's not like every day, all day, every day. I mean, it's not like they have certain hours,
It's
and I think it's like 20 hours a week or whatever.
well, you got to figure some people are using that for draft prep, and things like that. Like they're getting their reps in that way, as opposed to, you know, getting stale
That's
for
a
3
winner.
months or whatever before.
I'm sorry
It's
that I just broke that news to you, Matt.
it's all right. I'll take it. It's
I
good
keep
news.
forgetting
It's
that.
good news. That's fine with me.
Because I hate when people do that. So
It's okay.
but
It's okay. That's the price I pay for streaming
but
TV.
just
So
speaking of that real quick, they're showing Ian Happ, maybe the hottest player in baseball right now. Not baseball, at
yeah,
least the NL.
he's starting to catch
The
the
NL.
national attention too. We were talking about that before
I
the
think
show
there's
with
some players in the White
Jared
Sox that
Carrabis.
are probably a little bit
Jared
hotter.
Carrabis tweeting about Ian Happ being possible MVP candidate. So
Yeah,
that would be he's having a monster season.
it's
His
a good year
OPS
to
numbers are
if you
through the
get
roof.
hot in
So
60 games here, and it's all up for grabs. It's a weird season, but
it's kind of been my mantra has been go steal a title this year, go steal a ring.
mhm.
You can go steal an award too. Go steal an
And
MVP in a shortened
to
season,
win's
or
a win, but 8-7 against the Pirates in extra innings. Come on, boys.
not
It's a
ideal, but
win.
we'll
It's a
take
win.
it.
It's a win. But with the football, like I said, we're gonna have NFL. We're gonna have some sort of college football. Yes, we had I think Austin, PA, the Division 2A. Is it Division 1 AA?
Yes, they are
We
one
had
double.
that,
So it'd be like the
but
FCS.
I just don't think we'll see the Big Ten play this year. I just don't see it.
I think you're probably correct,
I hope I'm
but
not. I hope I'm not. I hope I can be proven wrong, and if you want to prove me wrong on that, that's beautiful. I would love to see.
well, it's just how are those guys going to get a fair shake off? When it comes to the draft
It's
combine,
what you get.
when the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12 have so much tape, and it's going to suck missing out on like the MAC and the Sun Belt. Those are two conferences that everybody loves. Like the Mountain West at late at night. We're going to get probably not going to see any of that. So it's just like
Sad.
give us something. Give me something. I'm going to miss college football drastically this year. So give me whatever we can get.
But Matt, this has become one of my favorite segments we do. Matty Puck's NHL playoff breakdown.
Not a ton going on tonight. Just two games. Last night. Islanders and Flyers had another thriller, and they actually got some scoring going in that one. It was 4-3 in overtime. Flyers got the win. Ridiculous redirect goal to get the winner from Scott Lawton. That series is it's so odd because like the Islanders are kind of just playing out of their ass. And they've been outstanding in the bubble since it all started. You've got to figure their luck's going to come to an end at some point because they're not. I mean, they're a good team. But don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sell their talent short, but from a talent perspective, they're nowhere near the top of the upper echelon of the teams left in the playoffs as a whole. So there's no reason they shouldn't finish this series off. I think they'll end up getting the win probably, but Philly's a team they're always banging on you. They're always going to be physical, and as you see tonight, they're not giving up. Got a nice goal. Provorov threw a beautiful wrister up on the net, and for the redirect too, by like I said for Scott Lawton. It was a pretty goal to get the winner. Um, later last night, I guess too was another one we didn't kind of see coming was Vancouver keeping it alive. They were down 3-1 in the series, get a big win 2-1 tonight. They took the lead on another redirect too from Elias Pettersson. Young kid's a stud, and Canucks won 2-1. Bringing that series 3-2. Game 6 coming tomorrow, I believe. No, excuse me, Thursday. Thursday's Game 6. Tomorrow we got Stars and Avalanche again. So go ahead, like I said, tomorrow night or tonight, I should say. Go put your buy down the 5.5 over because it's probably going to be a 6 goal over. Buy it down to 5.5. Cash it all day because it's 5.5 is just stealing money in that series right now. So
I love it. And Maddie, Pucks, got your NHL playoff breakdown. The playoffs, the NHL playoffs is really starting to heat up. You said the Knights, they're playing right now, right?
Just finished. Vancouver beat them 2-1.
I'm going to live bet that too, and I don't think I could live bet NHL on my site, so whatever. Let's get into the NBA playoffs. We had old school Game 7, 80-78. The Nuggets end up winning, coming back from a 3-1 deficit, and a heartbreaker for the Jazz. The ball literally was halfway down the net.
What a shot by Conley.
I thought that thing was going in. Because
the way that whole stretch,
very stupid mistake by going for the layup,
right.
Missing the layup. It could have ended their season right there instead of pulling the ball out. But this was a great series all around. You saw two great talents.
Utah had numbers going the other way too. I mean, they had a break. It was like 5 seconds left. You got Conley with a great look there.
Yeah,
and it looked like Mitchell might have been wide open on the other side of the floor, too.
By the time
looked like he was going for the ball.
Him, I don't know if he could have gotten the shot off. I saw that too.
It's like one of the,
but I did notice that I think if he would have tried to throw it to him, it would have had to be a really quick shot, or he couldn't have got one off. But
could you imagine Game 7 to end a series just on a buzzer beater like that? Like that's just like.
Is this the last time you see Donovan Mitchell play a game for the Utah Jazz? I think so.
Where are you seeing him go? Where do you think?
The Bulls. I hope. But I don't know. I just feel like he's not going to end up back there. I don't know. Who knows? But that was a fun series to watch. Weird game though, with an 80-78 Game 7. But people like Matt knew because he took the under. I took the over, and that's just how it goes. We also had earlier in the night, we had Boston. I mean, how do I not know that? That's where I actually won some money. Boston wins 102-99, take a 2-0 series lead. It was kind of weird. First series, Raptors go out there and they end up.
They look great.
They sweep right away. Boom. And no, wait. They lost game 1, right?
No, I'm pretty sure they swept.
Who's the 1 seed in the East? Oh, that was
Milwaukee,
the Bucks.
isn't
Sorry,
it?
That was the Bucks. And
yeah, Milwaukee lost.
People were talking about over and over how they were going to, they were maybe going to repeat this and that, get another championship. And what happens? They go out and they're down 2-0 to a very good Celtics team. And I think that whoever comes out of this series, and I know it was a close game tonight, could really give the Bucks or the Heat, who knows?
I was going to say not so fast, dude. I don't think Miami is going to go away here. It is. It's wide open.
Yeah.
It really is wide open.
The Heat Bucks play again today, and that's a series you really got to pay attention to because I think that the Heat have a chance to make some noise here. And
what do you think? What do you think on the other side about Denver? Given what do you think they can do with the Clippers? Do you think they can give them a run for their money at all, or no?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think the Clippers,
I
if they
think Murray's
want
gonna
to
have
turn
trouble
it,
with Leonard.
it's really going
but-
to come down to Paul George, playoff P. Like, can he show
Playoff
up?
P.
Because he is the guy. If he can play well, then it's hard to beat that Clippers team when they get it all going. But if he keeps playing like he did in the first few games, I mean, who knows? I think that it's going to be a good series, but I do see the Clippers winning that series. And then we also have Game 7, Thunder, Rockets. Imagine if the Thunder win this game. Imagine if the Thunder win this game. That would be unbelievable.
It's not in it at this point.
No, it's not like it's
it
crazy.
Would shock me.
No, but if you look at this roster, this Houston team, and then you see James Harden, Russell Westbrook, you would think that it doesn't really matter. You can be able to put some pieces around these guys to win this.
What happens if Russell Westbrook plays like he did again in Game 6?
Oh my gosh!
Like, they're dead. They're done.
That was awful.
There's no chance.
That was awful.
And like, what happens if you get James Harden Game 7 last year?
Awful because not just the performance, just the moment. Like, it just seemed like these guys. Yeah. You get two superstars in your team, and neither of them really came to play
against their former team.
Yeah, I mean,
have a little fucking stones.
I don't get it.
Come on, boys.
I don't get it at all. And then
Chris Paul, and I've never been a Chris Paul fan. No. Like, it's never been. I've always thought he's kind of a douche, and a lot of that probably stems me being a Carolina fan, him playing at Wake Forest, and he was really good there and annoyed the hell out of me. But I don't know. He always just seems like kind of an asshole. But my God, like, dude, he's hitting threes. Like, he's not a great shooter.
No.
And they just got a bunch of scrappers on that team, dude. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's really good. Schroeder, I like that kid. He's just a pest. He's really good. He's got some skills offensively, too.
I would love to see the Thunder win this game. Love it.
It would be great. Steven Adams, man, that guy's just a monster.
It's really a hostile,
it's a fun team.
Hostile series too, because they've been saying about fights in the hotel. Like, that is crazy to think that these guys go out there, they go at it, they're hitting each other in the dick.
Did you see that when Paul hit that three, he turned around and slapped Covington in the ass on his way down?
How many times did these guys just sack tap each other?
It's just ridiculous.
You know what I mean?
Man. Like, they're a bald bunch of pricks, dude. It's kind of fun.
I saw an article. It was like
Chris Paul's always been a redhead.
They were like, they sack tap each other so many times that there's fights in the hotel now. Like, you think about that.
Jumping on the elevator.
You're doing
Jumping
that to
the elevator,
each other,
getting a little nut punch.
You have to go back, and you're in the same hotel. You're like, what the fuck? I don't want to do that.
That's brutal.
But the NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs are great right now. We are getting rewarded for that month or so that we didn't get sports at all. It was just like kind of seemed like Groundhog Day every single day, especially for us who that's what we talk about every single day. So we are really getting rewarded for that right now. Like I said, we got the Cubs. We got football coming up next week. Oh, my gosh, man. This is going to be amazing.
We're there. We're getting there, man.
We talked about this when we were kind of first getting into the whole having a not quarantine, but the shutdown and everything and sports going down. And we're like, man, this is just every day feels the same. Guess what? We are back, and the sports are at an all-time high right now.
It's been a blast just because we got, like we said, we're not getting those like 11 o'clock games like we were getting a couple weeks ago because that really was fun. But, you're getting NBA games that start at like 4 or 5 o'clock. You're getting games that are, hockey games that are starting at 9 o'clock. You got baseball that's being played all day. We're getting a little bit of the benefit right now. We got football around the corner like we've been talking about.
Thursday.
I just don't want it to end.
Thursday.
Don't want it to end. I need college football. We need the Big Ten to play. We need them all to play.
If we can
be safe about it, keep them on campus, form your own bubbles. Change it this year to an 18 playoff. Bubble that shit up too. Let's go. Come on, let's make it fun.
We do this.
We just
got sports and more sports.
Shit. Come on, there's money to be made for everybody.
Let's go. We love it. Matt, anything post show? I guess sports are back, baby. Sports are back.
We need a wacky web story. I was trying to find one in honor of our fallen comrade at softball tonight, Boomy. But what's his injury that he's going to get tonight? By the way, there's got to be something.
Maybe the groin.
Torn ACL. It's a little bit slick out there. He's got to watch out for the knee.
I'm thinking of groin maybe. He won't listen to this,
You know
so
that.
it won't matter.
He's probably nursing a pop hammy without a doubt. Like that's a given. Like he just slipping out in the outfield or something a little bit damp.
Especially if it's like an end of the season kind of thing, because we are in the playoffs. Then you just got to go down with an injury.
Yeah, well, we know Mr. Hardo bike rider. He's going to be going full bore since it's the playoffs. He's going to try to run through a wall.
Well, let's see if we'll get him on tomorrow's show. If you're listening and you're not named, Boomy, do not tell him. If we'll get into this tomorrow night on the show, and we'll even see if he even knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. Well, totally. Don't say him. Don't tweet him. Don't message him. Nothing. Yeah. Just let him make sure he's listening to himself, and we'll just start asking him how his hammies doing. Yeah, see if he shredded his ACL.
Yeah, you won't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll fire a crossbow off his forehead again or something.
That it scared me. I didn't even want to get close to that crossbow after that. Like, no,
he shouldn't either.
Well, Matt, thank you for joining me tonight at schools_01. Did you drain that?
I got the ball back too.
Drain.
Bounced right back to me.
That was beautiful.
The backspin on it was perfect.
You can follow me
that was off.
Exactly at Lilia TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Type in typical Chicago fans. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Follow all of our social medias. Like I said, we put all this podcasts and morning shows and all the content we do. We put all on our social medias, and we show you where you can find it. You go to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, and subscribe to the Typical Chicago Fans page, and then go over to wherever you get your podcast from. If it's Apple, subscribe, rate, review. Spotify, follow us. Spreaker, shout out Boomy's uncles. And then if you are anywhere
I gotta get my uncle on Spreaker. Just make that the uncle's podcast network.
Yeah, and then whatever else you get your podcast from, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You'll find us on there. Shout out to 26shirts.com Chicago. Buy some stuff. Check out, and at checkout type in Typical Chicago Fans, and you will get 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout, and you'll get 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com Chicago. We love you, 26shirts.com Chicago. Make sure you follow them on all social medias, and then go over to 26shirts.com, go to Chicago section, buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a flag, and then at checkout, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You get 15% off of your purchase. Anything else, Matt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Let's have a Wednesday.
Let's have a Wednesday. We'll end the show tomorrow. Like I said, sports, and more sports. You can't. It's just a great time to be alive. Let's go.
Let's do it.
This has been the TCF Morning Show, Wednesday, September 2nd. We love you all.
Peace.